Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday morning. No, no, it's Monday evening. I've had a heck of a day doing other things, and so I'm just now getting to the Monday message. But it's still Monday, so it still counts. And here we are. So, how are you doing? How are you faring in this bizarre and stressful time? Although it's really kind of a different, it's like a stress. So there initially there was acute stress of, oh my gosh, a pandemic. Am I going to get sick? Am I going to know someone who's going to get sick? Is somebody going to die? Are there going to be enough masks in the hospitals? What's going to happen? Am I going to be able to make enough money? My business is closed. I can't get to work. I've been laid off, right? What am I going to do with my children? Now I have to teach them or monitor their online learning or quarantine. Can't get outside where I want to go, and my gym is closed. And so all of those things are still there. They're all still stressors that we're experiencing. But on top of that, we have like an endurance stress, right? And that stress is like, when is this ever going to end? So there's a difference between acute and chronic, right? So if it's pain, then we have acute pain is like, mother, but it's short lived. Whereas chronic is not as bad pain wise as an acute pain, but it never ends. And so you can argue which is worse. Is it worse to have a lot of pain, but then it's over? Or is it worse to have less pain, but it never ends? There's no end in sight. And people would vary on how they would answer that question. Well, stress is the same way. So I think we all experienced acute stress in the beginning, um, and acute worry. And now it's more of this stress of endurance. Like there's no known end to this. And the days were melding together in the beginning, and now the weeks are all melding together, and no one has any idea when day or time or anything. But it's exhausting. And so I was going to write this morning, do a video this morning, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I had one of those days where I'm just exhausted. And at the end of last week, I really similarly felt this way, as did my clients. And I was going to talk about that. And then we all sort of had this little weekend, whether you celebrate Easter, Passover, or whether you don't. With just seeing everybody's pictures all around and trying to have family time, sort of, I don't know, gave a little boost. And then today hit, and this morning I was actually feeling kind of pretty good. I might have had a different Monday message, but now I'm feeling back to where I was at the end of last week, and my sessions as the day has gone by with clients have returned to this just exhaustion. It is so tiring to have this undercurrent of worry and unrest and uncertainty in everything that we're doing. And so that's not a tip, that's just a fact. The fact is that even if you successfully, like for example, I worked with a lot of clients last week on moving away from scrolling and choosing certain times of the day to scroll rather than all day long scrolling. Same thing with watching the news or reading the newspaper, and to really try to be mindful about not just having that cycle of negativity. And we worked on that, and that was helpful to a degree. But really, by the end of the week, people were saying, I'm just as tired. I'm really just as tired. And I really felt that too. Like, even with all of these efforts of trying to stay away from the negativity as much as possible and not get it like ingrained in my brain, I still end up just being just gutted at the end of the day, or sort of, throughout the day. And this seems to be a similar experience. So first of all, I wanted to name that in case that's what you're experiencing, that this is for sure happening, that it is just exhausting to be existing right now. And that's because your brain and your emotions are sort of working in the background, even if you are doing whatever task you're doing. There's just in the world this whole pallor of unrest that we're all kind of feeding into, whether we realize it or not. And it's really tiring. So what do? Staying away from the negativity is not enough. So that leads me to my tip of the week. And the mental health tip of the week for this Monday message is to go positivity picking. So, and what I mean by that is, in the same way that you go and you pick beautiful flowers, you also need to go and actively pick positive things to see, to do, to hear, all the five senses, to touch, to taste. You need, for sure, oh my gosh, this is why I don't do Monday messages in the evening, because I have no words. My brain, too tired, just so tired. Methodical. That's what I wanted to say. You have to be deliberate. You have to have a method. You have to be purposeful about finding positivity. I think what happens to us normally is that we're surrounded by a more balanced view, typically, unless you suffer from ongoing anxiety, in which case this is something that you probably had to develop, or may have to develop if you haven't already. And that is the idea of the world is not just going to throw positivity your way to balance out what's happening with your negativity. And normally I feel like that works for a lot of people. We sort of live in more of a balanced way. But what's happening now is it's not. The whole world is topsy-turvy and unrest. And so you're going to have to be more methodical, more purposeful, more deliberate, more dedicated to creating positivity. You have to go and pick it the way you pick flowers. So if you look at flowers, flowers are beautiful. They're beautiful in a book. They're beautiful on the internet. They're beautiful in your memory. But when you're with one, there are no words, really. It's so much more beautiful. The experience of being around a flower, you can really smell it. You can really feel it. I don't think you should taste it unless it's an edible flower, but, or a plant, you can really taste it. And experience it in motion. So in the same way, you want to go and you pick a flower is a more meaningful experience than to just see a picture of a flower. And so the same thing with your experiences. You want to actively go positivity picking. So who do you know that are positive people? Those are the people you should be making sure that you're calling and having a little video chat, or reading their posts if they're people who tend to post positive things. Not only staying away from the negative people on Facebook or other social media, Instagram, whatever you use, but also seeking out the positive people in your life. It's not only about avoiding talking to that family member that just drives you crazy. It's also about what friends and what family members can I purposefully seek out that bring me joy. Same thing with work tasks. So what are the work tasks that you enjoy the most? And even if it's something that you don't have to do today, be purposeful about making sure you do at least one of those work tasks that bring you joy. Even if it's nothing you have to do today, it's important to do today because it's going to bring you that positivity. If a lot of work tasks you had to do today were really tough, or you didn't like them, or things you usually avoid, or things that you enjoyed in a way but they were just really hard, you want to add in some positivity. And then certainly getting outside. Like today was a rainy, windy, horrible day, and mostly I think I would say let's stay inside. It's not beautiful, I'm not going to do it, but I have the help of a furry thing that needs to get walked every day, and dogs can be really helpful in this way, because I went out in the rain and I stomped in the puddles and went out for a long walk and got soaking wet and almost blown over twice, but it fed me in a way that I would have missed if I had just stayed indoors. So positivity picking. Go pick some positivity in every area of your life that you can, and do it with purpose. When you do it with purpose, and it's not just something that luckily happens to you, then it can bear even greater meaning in your life. And that's what you need today. When we have all this negativity and all of this fatigue, what is something you can do that is going to give positivity, lightness, and joy? Do that again and again. That's your Monday message for today. I hope you have a great week, and stay healthy out there.